Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of the last things you get to know when you're trading on any kind of mobile version of MT5, which are of course different types of pending orders. Now, if you've been following along that channel, you might have seen other videos we've done on the MT5 Terminal as a standalone version, the one you install on your PC. We went through quite in detail through all the pending order type, so I'd highly encourage you, if you haven't seen that particular video, take a good look at that, because we explain quite well what are the different types of pending orders, how do they work, etc, etc. This is going to be more of a refresher, just for those of you who might need a reminder, might need to see the difference between the standalone version, so the PC version, the one you install on your Windows machine, and the one, for example, you could use on your mobile phones. So, without any further ado, let's see what we've got. First of all, of course, in order to open any kind of orders, as you might have noticed previously, we click on this button over here. It says conveniently new order. Currently we're considering our positions on the USD CAD, so US dollar versus dollar of Canada. And in order to execute, of course, our orders in a pending fashion and not go with the market execution. So, just as a reminder, market execution is what happens whenever you open any kind of trades, it gets filled, your order gets filled directly at the price of your current position. While if we are switching to the pending order types, so starting from buy limit, of course, we're talking about the orders that are going to be executed conditionally. So, for example, buy limit order is going to happen. For example, if we set the price, let's consider what's going on right now. Right now, the price of USD CAD is at the point of 1.31128, and let's imagine that we've conducted our analysis and it indicates to us that before the price is going to go up, it is likely to go down, which actually is over here. And let's say that according to the analysis that we've done, let's say that it tells us that the price is highly likely to go down to 1.3149, so it would be 1.3105 really, and then perhaps it could start going up for good. So in that case we'd have obviously a double bottom, quite a usual technical pattern, but that's beside the point. So if that's what our analysis tells us, then what we've got to do is essentially set a pending order. So instead of entering the market right now at the current price, we're going to wait for the price to drop to that particular level before opening end positions. So in that particular case, we need to understand what kind of order are we going to be trading on. So as you might have remembered from our previous video, we've got the two essential order types, the limit order and the stop order, as well as the one that tends to combine the two in one. So we got buy stop limit and sell stop limit. So in a few words, once again, just as a refresher, a limit order is what you use if you expect the price to bounce. So in this particular case, this is exactly what we expected to do, since we believe in this particular case, let's say, that is going to drop approximately to that level, it's going to bounce from that one, and it's going to go up. So that particular case, since we're going to be buying, obviously, since we're going to be going long, we'll have to open a buy order, but is it going to be a buy limit order or buy stop order? And once again, let's look at what's going on over here. A stop order is what you trade when you expect a sudden impulse, while the limit order is what you trade with if you expect the price to rebound. So in this particular case, since we expect the price to drop to that particular level, rebound and go up, we're going to be opening a buy limit order. So in the particular case, let's try that out. The price would be 1.3105. So if we go once again, new order, market execution, let's switch to buy limit. since we're going to be entering that one. And let's set up the price as 1.3105. That should be right, yeah. 31, yep, 1.3105. Yeah, the only thing that's not so convenient is that each and every time we try to set it up, it might reset the thing, but hey, why not? So, buy limit, we're expecting rebound, let's go for that one. So the standard lot size is L5 over here. We can make that go down to 125 perhaps. Expiration, everything else. Those a bit more technical details. That's not really important. You get your tick chart. You want to follow along with what's going on in the price at the moment. And the stop loss, take profit, I'm not going to set them right away since those can be easily modified later. But let's say that we've conducted an analysis and we want to trade a rebound. So in this particular case, we're going to be entering the buy limit at the price of 1.3105. So once that is done, we can say place, and here we go. The order was placed and we're done. Now, as you can see, what's happening right now, we've got our balance, we've got our equity, we've got our margin, we've got our free margin, the usual stuff, and the order was placed. However, this order was placed but not executed. However, even though we didn't enter the market right away, a certain amount of margin, a certain amount of money was still taken from our account to make sure that position can be filled. If the price does go down to that particular level, we want to make sure that we'll be able to get into the market. This is why you might see after each and every type of orders that you place, whether it's a market execution order, a pending order such as buy limit, sell stop, bust out limit, whatever, there's going to be a certain amount of margin that is going to be reserved for your operation. So that's something to keep in mind. And here we have it. Our terminal conveniently draws it for us, and that's good. Now, in other case, of course, you could be going for the sell limit. So you expect once again the price to bounce back. In particular case, let's say from this level, 1.3121. So let's say once again, if conducting your analysis, you believe the price isn't going to go up. Actually, it's going to go down, but before it goes down, it's going to make a small retracement, let's say just a little bit up. So in this particular case, since we're going to be expecting once again a bounce back, and we're going to be going low, we're going to be shorten, use the cut. In that particular case, we are going to be offering a new order type. It's going to be sell limit at the price of 1.3121. So let's do that. Max execution, let's change the sell limit. 3121. Okay. No stops for now, no take profits, so it can be modified later. And here we have it. Say done. Position, order types. And here we have it. We placed our buy limit, so if the price goes back to that level, we're going to be entering over there. We placed our sell limit, so if the price is going to go up over there, we're going to open our short position, and we're effectively good to go. Now, effectively, if that's not exactly what we want, you can always come back to this third panel over here. You can see you can switch basically at any point in time from the charts to your order types. And if you, for any reason, decided that, hey, the buy limit wasn't quite well placed, or the sell limit, or whatever, click on that order, hold your finger on it just for a couple of seconds, wait for this thing to pop up, and just say, hey, please delete my order. And they ask you, are you sure that that's what you want to do? Say yes, absolutely. And here we have it. Let's do the same thing for the sell limit, delete order, yes please. Here we have it. No margin taken any longer. Now, those were the limit types. Once again, if you want to trade on the bounce back, whether you're planning to go high or you plan to go low, whether you plan to go long, plan to go short, the kind of order that you're going to be using is the limit type. Now, in which case, on the other hand, they're going to be using the stop orders. Well, once again, if the limit order types are what can be used to trade on a bounce back, the stop orders are used to trade on the impulse. So let's say once again, in this particular case, let's actually switch to something. Here we go. So on 5 minutes, it seems to be drawing a triangle, but on the other hand could be head and shoulders. So let's say that our analysis in this particular case tells us that, hey, if the price is going to go below this point in time, 1.3107475, then it's very likely that the drop is going to accelerate. The speed with which the price is going to go down is going to accelerate significantly, and we would like to open a position and sell. So in this particular case, we are not going to be trading on a bounce back. We are going to be trading on an impulse. We expect the price to drop to that particular level, and we expect it to keep going. In this particular case, we're going to be using the order type, which is named conveniently the sell stop order. So let's do just that. Let's set that up. Going to be price 1.31075. Yep. New order type, market execution no. Let's go with sell stop. So 1.31075, I believe. Let's go in place, and here we have it. Let's say we're done. Let's take a look at that one. Let's go back, and here we have it. So what is this one going to do? Once the price drops to that level, of course, if that is going to happen, that's the beauty of pending orders, they only execute it under specific conditions. Then our position is going to get opened, and we're going to be expecting to ride that wave effectively down, because that's what we expect to do. Now, on the other hand, if we expect a certain impulse, let's say up, after this point in time, so that would be 1.312. In this particular case, since once again we're not going to be trading on a bounce back, we're going to be trading on an impulse. We expect the price to go to that level, break that level, and just keep going up. That would be an ideal position for a buy stop order. So let's set that one as well. 1.312. Once again, new order type, market execution, buy stop. 1.312. Let's place that one. Here we have it, and here we go. Let's go back to the chart, and here we have it. So in this particular case, we placed two of them. So if the price goes down below the level of our sell stop, we're going to be entering short, and we're going to be expecting to ride that wave effectively until that keeps going. With the buy stop, effectively, if the price shoots up and just keeps going up, that would effectively mean that we might need to go up. Simple as that. Now, the last order type to consider would be, of course, our buy stop limit. Now, once again, we've covered it quite extensively with in our usual MT5 terminal, the standalone version one, but the short version of it is that it essentially combines both the stop order as well as the limit order. That's why, of course, it was conveniently named stop limit order. Now, the way it works is a bit complicated, but it's not. So what a stop limit order is meant to do is essentially to give you an opportunity to place a limit order, so to trade on a bounce after a certain impulse. So it combines the stop order, which allows you to open a position, but in this particular case it's not going to open a position, it's going to simply place another position, and the limit order type, which allows you to enter at a certain price on a bounce. So let's make a small convenient example. Once again, let's switch the charts. Let's see what's going on with our server here. Okay, so let's say once again, you've conducted your own analysis, you've been following invest.com, been following some guys, perhaps investing in some signals, whatnot, and it appears to you that, hey, there is quite an interesting position forming over here. However, for it to become effectively valid first what needs to happen is that the price needs to go up approximately to this level over here. Let's say it has to go up to 1.315, which is not essential. Then if it does go to that particular level, then you're going to be looking to enter the market, but you're not going to be entering the market right away. What you're going to be doing instead is that you're going to be waiting for the price to come back to this particular level, 1.31355, let's say, and you're going to be trading, effectively, you're going to be entering in a long position. So in this particular case, you could either effectively expect the price first to go down to that level, you'd have to have your terminal open at all times, you'd have to follow the price, etc., etc. Then you have to expect it to drop to that level, or perhaps at this point in time you could already set your limit order, since once the price would be at this point in time, we're going to be looking to enter a trade at a bounce back, bounce that could be going up, or you could simply set what is convenient called a buy stop limit order. So what it's going to do is that first of all it's going to ask you for the price of activation of your limit order. So the price, let's say, of the impulse to which the price has to arrive before you start placing your limit order to trade on a certain bounce. So in this particular case, since we expect the price, for example, to go directly to 1.315 first, then come back to 1.313 or whatever, then go back, then the activation price of our order would be 1.315, while the actual stop limit price, so the price of your limit order from which you're going to be rebouncing back, is 1.3135. So let's once again make sure I remember those ones. So let's play them. So in this particular case, we're going to be trading on a buy stop with a price of 1.315 with activation, and the stop limit price is going to be a bit below that. So 1.31350. Yep. Oh, expiration good to cancel. By the way, this is another thing that could be useful. The expiration date, if you decide to change it, for example, if you're trading intraday only, if you're trading during the day, some positions, perhaps you might want to make sure that are only valid today. So, for example, if you see that the price is trending in a very small channel, it's a very, it just stays there. You get 10, 20 pips, it's not really moving, and you expect it to break out of that channel. So you might want to specifically then trade either with a buy stop, sell stops, or in impulse, or buy stop limit or sell stop limit. So first you would expect that channel to break before opening any positions. However, what you might also want to consider doing is to limit that position to be only valid for today. So if you see that price trending in that very small particular channel, you'd like to consider opening some positions, but you only like to consider opening them for today. Because if it continues staying in the channel, for example, even after 24 hours have passed or 6 hours have passed, depending on whenever you're going to be entering the market, perhaps it would mean that, hey, there's something else going on, so the market is not really certain, and in that case you might just want to wait to see what's going to develop. In that particular case, you might want to change the expiration from the GTC, which stands for good till cancelled, so it's going to be valid until you simply either delete it, or it's going to get executed, or today. In that case, actually it's only going to be valid for the particular day in which you're opening it, as you might imagine. So, in this particular case, once again, check the price, 135, yeah, 1.3135, and let's say we place. Here we have it. So, let's come back to the chart, and here we have it. Buy stop limit. You can see only the activation price over here, so what's going to happen is that if the price is going to go to that level, 1.315, then a limit order is going to get placed at approximately this level where we've set it up, and if price indeed goes back to that level, then we're going to be opening a long position, we're going to be entering in buy, and you're going to be effectively riding that huge wave up, if of course it's going to happen. So that's essentially it. The exact same goes for the sell stop limit. So in this particular case, you would expect then an impulse down, an impulse you expect the price to drop, then you want to activate it with some certain sell stop order, but that sell stop order is not going to place the actual market execution order, it's going to place a limit order. So with once again, buy limit, sell limit, they allow you to trade on a bounce. If you expect the price to bounce, what you're going to use is either buy limit or sell limit. Stop orders, so buy stop or sell stop, allow you to trade on impulses. So if you expect the price to head up, it just keep going no matter what. You would go with the buy stop order. If you expect the price to drop or just keep going down, it would be, of course, the sell stop. And if you'd like to combine the two, so if you expect the price first to head straight up, then to make a small retracement, and then continue headed up, you would go with the buy stop limit, setting your effectively stop order to trigger your limit order. That's how you do it. Of course, you can set up your stop loss as anything else, and the sell stop limit effectively allows you to do just that, just in the opposite direction. So if you expect the price to drop first, then make a small retracement to a certain point in time, then continue going down, then you would set your sell stop to trigger your rebalance order, your limit order. You would set your effectively stop limit price, which is the actual bounce that you're expecting. You would set your stop loss and take profit. Always remember about those ones. Take profit not so much, but stop loss definitely. And this is how we do it. So these are the different types of pending orders. Let's come back over here. Let's say we want to delete it. Absolutely yes. And here you have it. So quite simple, quite convenient. Well, depending on what you're used to. I personally can't find myself that used to mobile version still, but hey, it's just a matter of habit for the most. So make sure you practice with these ones on your demo account first before you start trading with any real money. Of course, you can start trading with real money right away. Just make sure your lot, in that case, is as small as it can be. Open your first couple of positions just for 0.01. Yep, the battery is low. That happens. Just to make sure you've got some practice. Because if you start opening your usual types of orders, I mean, with a particular position, there's a bit of a chance that something's not going to be quite right. So, not risk real money, either go directly with the demo account. If your demo account one has expired, so you need to open a new one, just do that. It's quite easy to do. Or if you do want to practice exclusively with real money, just make sure to go with some minimal lot to make sure you're not putting any significant money at risk. And of course, even if you're trading with the smallest lot possible, always remember to set up the stop loss. Because unfortunately, these are markets, anything effectively can happen, and the worst case scenario, effectively, you can lose basically everything or almost everything. So that's not something you want to do, ever. So that was it. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Let us know your thoughts, let us know your comments. If there's anything not clear, hey, feel free to get in touch. We've got emails, we've got chats. The phones are always working as well. So hopefully that was useful, and hey, talk to you soon.